Hello, my dear students. This is Mrs. Shayma Gharib and today's lesson about surface area. Let's start by revising some rules before you watch any video. First, you have to sit in a quiet place. You should have your pen and a piece of paper to take notes and to solve questions. You should pause the video after each question, then you try to answer on your own. Then you play the video to check your answer and to understand the question in case you get a wrong answer. Are you ready? Let's start our lesson by the difference between area and surface area. You know that area, we measure the area for 2D shapes such as square, triangle, rectangle, circle, but the surface area, we use it with the 3D shapes such as cube, square pyramid, and triangular prism, and so on. Okay? Second, when we calculate the area of a 2D shape, we calculate the area of only one face because it is a 2D shape and it has only one face. But when we calculate the surface area, we calculate the total area of all faces because 3D shapes has many faces. So when we calculate the surface area of a 3D shape, we calculate the total area of all the faces we have. As you can see here, this is a cuboid and it has 6 faces, as you can see. So to calculate the surface area, we need to find the area of all the faces. Okay? Now, what about units of measuring area and units of measuring surface area? Both of them using square units, such as centimeter squared, meter squared, kilometer squared, etc. And same for surface area, square units, same units exactly as the area. Is this clear? Now, let's talk about surface area of the cube. This is the cube, and we know that the cube has 6 faces and 12 edges and 8 corners or vertices, all right? Now, let's see the net of the cube. As you can see here, it has 6 faces and all of them are squares and all of them have the same size and the length of the edges are equal. All the edges are equal to each other. Now let's see, as we said, it has 6 faces, all are identical squares. The meaning of the word identical means that they have same size and same length. So all the squares here have the same area. The area of one face, we said each face is a square. So the area of one face is same as area of a square. How do we find the area of a square? By multiplying the side length by itself, which means that the side times the side, we can say edge of the cube times edge of the cube, the number times itself. We can also say edge squared. Okay? Now, if we want to calculate the surface area of the cube, we said the surface area is the total area of all faces. And we said we have 6 faces. Each one of them is a square. So we can say that area of one face times 6. We can add the area of one face 6 times, or we can multiply the area of one face or the area of one of the squares times 6. Is this clear? Now, how to get the area of one face? As we said, edge times edge. Then times 6. So we can say that the surface area of a cube equals edge times 6. We can also say edge squared times 6. What about surface area of the cuboid? This is a cuboid. It has 6 faces. All of them are rectangles. Sometimes it has 2 squares. And it has 12 edges. And it has 8 corners or 8 vertices. Let's see how the net of the cuboid, as you can see, it has all 6 faces and all of them are rectangles. Sometimes we can find identical rectangles and sometimes we find different rectangles. We'll see different shapes of nets of cuboid. We have here at the first net, as you can see, these 2 faces are identical and these 2 are identical and these 2 are identical. Here, all these 4 faces are identical. They all have the same size. And the 2 sides are identical and they have different shape than these 4. But here we have this face and this face equal or identical to each other. And this one and this one, they are different than the other 2. Okay? To find the surface area, we know that the cuboid has 6 faces. Top and bottom, the top and the bottom. Okay, as here, top and the bottom here. What else? We have front and back. We can say this is the front and this one is the back. And we know that top and bottom are opposite to each other and they are identical faces. Front and back, they are opposite to each other and they are identical faces. And we also have 2 sides. As you can see here, they are opposite to each other and they are identical. And identical means they have the same area. Okay? Now, let's see how to calculate the surface area of a cuboid. We said the surface area, the total area of all faces. In the cuboid, the faces are different. So we need to calculate the area of top and bottom plus the area of front and back plus the area of the 2 sides. So in order to calculate the surface area of the cuboid, you have to add area of top and bottom plus the area of front and back plus the area of the 2 sides. Now, let's talk about surface area of a triangular prism. This is a triangular prism. We know how it looks like when we unfold it. Its net has 3 rectangles and 2 triangles, as you can see. Let's see how we can fold them to form the triangular prism. Now let's talk about its net. We said it has 5 faces, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 faces are 2 identical triangles on both sides and 3 rectangles, as you can see. And sometimes it could be 3 squares. Okay? Now let's see the surface area. We said the surface area is the total area of all faces. So we need to calculate the area of all the faces. So we are going to calculate the area of the 2 triangles plus the area of the 3 rectangles. So this is how we can calculate surface area of the triangular prism. Now let's talk about surface area of the square pyramid. Here it is, the square pyramid. Let's check the net of a square pyramid. As you can see, it has 5 faces, 4 triangles, and 1 square. And it could be rectangle. Let's see how do we fold it, as you can see in this video. Here is the net of a square pyramid, and we said it has 5 faces, 4 identical triangles, and 1 square. In order to calculate the surface area of the square pyramid, we need to add the total area of all faces. What are the total area of all the faces? Area of the 4 triangles plus area of the 1 square, which is the base of the pyramid. And sometimes it could be a rectangle if it is a rectangular pyramid. Is this clear? What about surface area of the triangular pyramid? Let's see the triangular pyramid, as you can see it here. And this is the net. And how do we fold it to form the triangular pyramid? As you can see, it has 4 faces. All of them are triangles. 4 triangles. So, in order to calculate the surface area, we are going to add all the areas of all the faces, the total area of all faces. And we said all faces are triangles, so we need to find the area of the 4 triangles. That's it. So you need to study and know how we can describe surface area of these 3D shapes. And now let's ask some questions. It's our questions time. Are you ready? Look at this question. Here is the net of a cube. And look at this word here, not drawn to scale, means that we do not use the ruler to measure the sides. Okay? We do not use the ruler to measure any of the edges of this cube. The length of one edge of the cube is 3 centimeters. So the length of one of the edges is 3 centimeters. What does this mean? We said the cube has 12 edges and all of them are equal in length. Okay, so let's see how we can calculate its surface area now. We said the surface area of the cube, do you remember? What was the rule? The total area of all faces. This is the general rule for all the 3D shapes. So in order to get the total area of all faces, we need to know the area of one face. And one face is a square. So how to find the area of one of these squares or one of these faces? The side length is 3. So we are going to multiply the 3 by itself, or we are going to square the 3 squared. So edge times edge, this is the area of one face, which is 3 times 3. Then I'm going to multiply it by 6 because I have 6 squares. So the answer will be 3 times 3 times 6. 3 times 3 equals 9. 9 times 6 equals, yes, 54 centimeter squared. Don't forget the unit when we measure area or surface area, because it's really important, and if you didn't write the correct unit, you may lose the mark. Is this clear? Now, let's go to the next question. Here is the net of a cube. Let's see. The area of the square face is 49 meters squared. Calculate its surface area. Here, he didn't give you the length of the edge. He gave you the area of the square face. So the area of one of these faces. one of the faces, the area is 49 centimeters squared. To calculate the surface area, what should I do? We said the total area of all faces, so I can add the 49 6 times, or I can just multiply the area of one face times 6, which is 49 times 6. The answer will be 294 meter squared. Here the unit in meters squared. We said we measure area and surface area using square units. Next question, here is the net of a cube. Let's see. Let's see the question. The surface area of the cube is 384 meters squared. What is the length of one edge of the cube? This question is different than the others. He's giving you the surface area and he's asking for the length of one edge of the cube. Let's start step by step. Surface area, as we said, equals the total area of all faces. And we know that the total area of all faces means the area of one face times 6. So if I know that the area of one face, if I know the surface area, I can get the area of one face. How? By dividing the surface area by 6. If I divided the total area by the number of squares, I will get the area of only one square. So if I divided the 384 by 6, which is the surface area, if I divide it by 6, I will get the area of one face or one square. So 384 divided by 6 equals 64 meter squared. So the area of each square here is 64 meter squared. Okay? What did we say about area of the square? We said edge, right, times itself, or the edge squared. So what is the number? When I multiply it by itself, it gives me 64. What times itself gives me 64? It's number 8. So the length of one edge equals 8 meters. Here, remember, this is length. So the unit will be in meters, not square units or not meter squared, okay? Also, we can get the length of one edge by getting the square root of 64. So the square root of 64 is 8. And we can think of a number, when I multiply it by itself, it gives me 64, which is 8. Is this clear? Now, let's look at this example. I have a cuboid, as you can see, this time, with different edges. Calculate its surface area. Do you remember what did we say about calculating the surface area of a cuboid? We said the surface area equals area of top and bottom, area of front and back, plus the area of the two sides. Now, let's identify the area of top and bottom. For example, this is the top and this is the bottom. Okay, they are opposite to each other. And this is the front and this is the back. And this is one of the sides and this is the other side. Now we identified the opposite and the identical faces of this cuboid. As you can see, we have different sizes of faces. The top and bottom are identical and they are different than the bottom, the back and the front. and they are different than the two sides. Now let's go step by step. I will start with area of top and bottom. Now let's choose any of them, the top or the bottom. I have the edge length here, which is 4 centimeters. If this one 4 centimeters, can we know the length of this edge? Do you remember when we talked about the nets of the cuboid and we said that this side of the cuboid must be exactly the same as this side, and on the other side also this side must be equal to this side. So if this side is 6 centimeters, it means this one is 6 centimeters as well. So now I have the length of this rectangle and the width of the rectangle, 4 and 6. So I can say the area of the top equals 4 length times width, which is 6 times 4, which is 24. How many rectangles do I have? I have 2, top and bottom. So in order to get the area of top and bottom, I'm going to multiply 4 by 6 by 2 because I have 2 faces with the same area. So 4 times 6 times 2, 4 times 6, 24 times 2 equals 48 centimeter squared. Now, let's calculate the area of front and back. This is the front and this is the back. Let's see the length and the width of these rectangles. What about this side here? What is the length of this side? It's same as this one, so it is 4 centimeters. And what about this one? It is same as this one, so it is 3 centimeters. So in order to get the area of this face of the back, it will be 4 times 3, length times width. And I have 2 faces, the back and the front, and they are exactly the same. They are identical faces. So to get the area of both of them, I'm going to multiply by 2. So I can say 4 times 3 times 2 for both faces. 4 times 3 equals 12 times 2 equals 24 centimeter squared. And now for the area of the two sides. Let's look at the two sides. We have this edge equals 6 centimeters. What about this one? It's same as this one here. It's 3 centimeters. So in order to calculate the area of this face or of this side, I will multiply the length by the width. 6 times 3. Then multiply by 2 because I have 2 identical faces. So we can say that area of two sides equals 3 times 6 times 2. 3 times 6 equals 18 times 2 equals 36 centimeters squared. Now we can calculate the surface area of this cuboid by adding all these areas together. 48 plus 24 plus 36 equals 108 centimeter squared. This is the end of our lesson today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any question, please feel free to leave a comment and I will answer you as soon as possible. See you next video, and please remember that your feedback is highly appreciated. Thank you very much and see you soon.